about other things, that's fine. You can do that as well. But right now, we'll turn our attention to the Yorktown Cornhuskers as they take their undefeated season into the Class B bowl game, the premier bowl game for the second year in a row. This is a football team that going into the year did never have won a Class B championship, which was amazing to me since they ran the string last year, of course, won the state championship. They got that done at Ossining High School a couple of weeks ago. They'll go back to that site at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon to take on the Nyack Indians, another Indian team they'll have to deal with. And in just a moment when they get settled in, we'll talk to their star defensive back or linebacker and also their star running back. And, of course, a man who is bolstered up the offensive and defensive lines for the last couple of years. He's just got that nagging knee injury, quote-unquote, that we always hear about, but he's able to battle through. We got a chance to talk to him for a few minutes after the Ossining game. He looked tired, he looked beat up, but he is ready to go. Haven't talked to him in a while. He called last week to compliment me on my lousy broadcasting of that game, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And please welcome to the Sports Club Show for the second year in a row, I believe. On your left, Mr. Adam Lodewick, a man who I saw run, what was that, 80 yards or something, Adam, in the Ossining game?
Yeah.
70-something? You should know the exact yardage.
81.
81, I knew it. And it's Phil Stenenbrand. Phil, welcome back to the show.
How you doing, Jim?
Good to see you. Now, before we get to the Yorktown stuff, I know you wanted to yell at me about the Knicks. What do you think about the Knicks? I know you call all the time talking about the Knicks. Knicks going to get it done this year?
Tell you the truth, I don't know much about them. I haven't been watching the Knicks too much this year. I haven't had the time with football and school and everything. But I heard Starks had 41 a couple last night or something like that. But I don't know. It looks pretty good with Charlie Ward in the backcourt.
You like that draft then?
Yeah, I like it.
I like Starks. I think he's going to have a big year after being horrendous in the finals.
Yes, he was.
He's going to come back and have a great year.
He loves to shoot. And I know Adam is a big Jet fan. I saw him with the Jet jacket. I'll ask you what I asked my good friend Dan. What the hell is going on with the Jets, Adam?
The Jets, I don't know. They're all talk, no action. If you listen to all the hype they're giving themselves, you know, they think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But they just come out every game. Like Johnny Mitchell's got to start catching some passes. Boomer's got to start throwing some passes. The whole team right now is Rob Moore.
It's so true. The whole offense is Rob Moore. We had a good game despite not getting that yard last week at Indianapolis. All right, guys, to more important things. Class B bowl game last year. Now, James Roberson and Vinny came on every week, Vinny DeAndre, who've since graduated, and they were very bold on the show. I mean, every week they're going to win. They're going to win. But I want some insights from you guys. All right, first I'll go to Phil, who was on a few of our shows last week, and a good call. I know both you guys will be honest with me. You had a chance to look at Nyack, the game against Somers? Both of you? You've looked at the tapes for that?
Not yet. We usually do that Friday nights or Saturday nights.
So you have not seen Nyack yet?
Well, just against when we were watching the film against Mamaroneck. We got to see both Mamaroneck and Nyack. Okay, and knowing what you know about Somers, I know you guys are chomping at the bit to get them again, even though you beat them. Somers wanted you guys. Your thoughts about them turning the ball over 8 times, Nyack winning 13-0. Does that give you any complacency that they didn't play that well and still was able to win the football game, Nyack, going up against a tough Somers team, or that game tells you nothing? Phil?
Personally, I thought Nyack was going to come out with the win going into Somers. I didn't think Somers stood a chance against them. But Nyack, I think, is the toughest team we're going to play all year. They're very fast running backs, and we just got to come to play.
Now, you also remember last year when you and I talked about this. Gorton, when you went into that game, you all thought that was the toughest game, and it turned out to be the truth. And the one thing Gorton had was size on you guys, but the speed, does that bother you at all, either one of you?
Bothers me a lot. The running backs, they got the sweep going for them. They get around the end, they're gone. Any team with speed is going to beat you on a play. That's what it comes down to. If you let your guard down on a play, team's got speed, they're going to get in the end zone.
Adam, did you find Ossining to be quick? I did when I first saw them. You guys handled them pretty well defensively. Are you worried about speed in your position?
Yeah, well, as a running back, they run a slant defense, and Nyack does, okay. Yeah, excuse me. And if we're running a sweep to one side, and they're slanting to that same side, and they beat our linemen off the ball, they got their whole line penetrating, and we really have no place to go. So our offensive line's got to have a big day, and got to get off the ball fast, and then I think we should be all right.
What was your, compared to last year, I mean, we just talked about it with Stu and Tom, compared to the team last year, is there anything in particular, either one of you guys, Adam first, then Phil, that you find different from this team, from the team last year going into the Gorton game? Now you're a year later, you already got a Class B championship, a state championship under your belt, you just won the Class B for the first time for Ronnie and everything else. Going into this game, is there any comparison with last year? What did you feel last year going into the Gorton game, and what do you feel now going into the Nyack game?
Last year, that was the first time ever. So we wanted to go into that game and give it our all and just play the best we could. And this year, you know, the seniors that are on the team now were on the team last year, and they know what it's all about. But a lot of the younger kids, the juniors and Carriella's sophomore who are on the team now, I guess, I don't know if they don't really know what it's all about. I guess they will after we win a championship, hopefully, and we make it there. But right now, there's not really much excitement. There's not as much excitement as there was last year. The seniors are excited, you know, because they know the people that were there last year. They know what it's all about. But the younger kids, they're not really sure how to feel right now. But so last year we were a lot more excited. We didn't know what to expect, but this year we know what to expect, and I think we gotta get a lot more excited.
Phil?
I think Adam said it all. During practice, we haven't had the best practice week. It just seems like it hasn't hit us yet. It's all going to come together, though, very soon. I guarantee that. And
plus, I bet the Sunday start is kind of weird, too. You guys are used to playing every 7 days, and now you got to wait the extra day and everything else. Were you guys both happy with the performance on last Saturday against Port Chester?
You did that.
I was happy. I wish we just scored a little more.
How about you, Adam? You had a big run in that game, right?
Yeah, reception, really.
Oh, sorry.
A screen pass from Matt. But going into the game, we had, I guess, the worst practice week all year. And it pretty much showed the first half. We played flat. Our offensive line didn't play well. Our running backs didn't really run well. Nothing really seemed to be working for us. But at halftime, Coach Stanovikas pretty much woke us up. And as it showed in the second half, we played a lot better.
Yes, and I know that he's very good at waking you guys up. Now let's go to the phones because we got a couple of calls for the gentleman here. We're talking Yorktown football. Then Stuart Letter, I'm sure, maybe has a question or something, and maybe our good friend Tom. We're going. Let's go to it. Kenneth, who's up first to talk Yorktown football here? Oh, 5313 brings us Matt. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you, Matt?
Good.
Good.
I have two questions. First one's directed to Adam.
Go ahead.
I was at last week's game, and I noticed that when you got one of your sacks, you injured your ankle, and I was just wondering whether you're going to be okay for Sunday.
Oh, good question, because I saw Adam today did not practice. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. I'll be 110% for this Sunday's game.
What happened, Adam, on the play?
I don't know. I guess I rolled over it or something. It was bothering me. I didn't really think too much about it, and then when I got home that night, and next morning I felt it.
Swell up?
A little bit, but I iced it all day, and I was all right.
Have you practiced it all this week?
Not really.
Okay, and the other question there,
this one's
Matt?
Phil.
Okay, Phil.
And I just want to know, in your opinion, who are the two most underrated players on the Yorktown football team?
Phil and Adam. All right, next. No, go ahead.
The two most underrated players, I'd have to say Matt Pansy's a pretty underrated player.
Would this be Matt Pansy on the phone?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course you were at the game. Of course Matt was at the game. He had to play.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, we always joke around, me and Matt, and say we're the two most underrated players on the team.
So it would be you and Matt then, would be the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that would be true. Is Matt also a lineman?
Yeah, he
Well,
is.
that would do it. So you guys don't get any glory. You just get a lot of mud and knee injuries. Now, by the way, let me ask you, Phil, before we let Matt go, how's the knee?
Knee's 100% right now. Against Ossining, Adam rolled up on it on a punt, and it turned out...
It's not my fault. That's his fault. He should have been back for the punt return. I was the one rushing.
Okay, go ahead.
It turned out it was a little my knee, but mostly my calf. I had a bad bruise in my calf, but my knee has been fine. I had surgery on it in the last winter, so far, knock on wood.
All right, and there you go. All right, Matt, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thanks a lot, bud.
All right, thanks.
All right, there goes Matt. One more call, and then we'll let our couple of guys on the program, Tom and Stu, call in. Then we have another call coming in. 4948, Kenneth, who's up? Mike, 4948. Mike, welcome to the show.
Yo, 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 I got a question for Adam.
Go ahead.
Adam, can you give me
3 yo's for Adam, by the way.
How you doing? I was wondering if you could give his many fans a little preview of his next touchdown dance.
Yeah, now tell me about this. Now, Adam apparently told us last year he's quite vociferous on the field. He likes to talk it up and runs 81 yards against Ossining and does one of these things.
It was great.
And then what did he do last week?
The nesty plunge.
And that would be?
That would be just falling backwards.
Very good.
All right.
Somewhere Don Meredith is happy. All right, is it? That's it?
That's it. Just wondering what he's doing.
Okay, thanks a lot. There he goes. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut him off. Sorry about that. One more call. Is this for Yorktown as well? Yes. Go ahead. Mike coming out. Thanks a lot, Mike, for the call. Mike, welcome to the show.
Adam?
Yeah.
I saw your last game. You did good. But I was wondering if you were going to wear deodorant because you were a little sweaty last game. So what do you say?
You're going to wear deodorant is the question, Adam.
Nope.
This is insightful football acumen from one of our fans.
No, I don't wear deodorant during the games. I just smell.
And that's good. So what happens is defensive backs, once it gets in the open field, they flee, and that helps them to get the big runs.
Yep.
By the way, Charles Hutton said hi.
Charles Hutton. Are you familiar with that human being, Adam?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike. All right, a little humorous call. All right, let's let a couple of our guys, Stuart Letter, Tom McGowan, ask a few questions. We set up a mic off camera. We'll see if this works. Stu, you have a question for our panel of Yorktown Cornhuskers?
A two-part question either one of you guys can answer. And one is, there's talk of Coach Sanovica retiring after this season.
Good question.
And, a lot of talk has been made of, how good a coach he is. But my question to you guys is, if you had another coach, would you guys still be just as good, or does the coach really make that big of a deal to such a dominant team like yours? And second, if you don't win the state title this year, is the whole year going to be a disappointment?
You want to take the first part?
All right. I feel that Coach Sanovica is very responsible for the success we've had. He's, I guess you could call it, the driving force behind us. He motivates us to do things that I never thought we would be able to do. If someone told me 2 years ago we were going to win the state championship last year, I would have laughed in their face. And I think he is one of the major factors, the reason why we've had the most success.
And Adam, do you think it'll be disappointing if you guys don't win at all?
Well, from the beginning of the season, it was to get back to the Section 1 bowl game. And that was in the first season we had, the first 7 games, 1 through 7. And our goal was to get to the Section 1 bowl game. And now that we're here and the second season started, our new goal is to win the New York State Championship once again and repeat. And so right now, I feel if we have a great practice week and we play great all week and we play a great game and we lose, then I think, yes, in the second season, this will be a disappointment to us because, everybody wants to get back to the state's title. We've worked, that's our whole season was based on that, was getting to the Section 1 bowl game and then taking it thereafter. But now that we're here and a new season starts, because that's what Coach says, now it's a new season, now that the state playoffs are here, if we don't make it to the state title, yeah, I think the season will be a disappointment.
And one comment I'd like to make before we go back to the phones on Mr. Sanovica is, this very stage kind of reminds me of Roddy Alone because a couple of years ago when I was doing the show, he came on and when he first got here, and he had been here a year or so, and he was talking about changing the uniforms, changing the attitude, get people to think football at Yorktown instead of just spring sports and lacrosse and stuff like that. And in the couple of years that I've been doing the show and seeing and meeting these great guys and just watching the team and really rooting for them and just seeing them grow, you could just see the things he said, the words. It's very easy to talk a good game, but he actually did it. He implemented it, and you could see it every week in the program. And finally, he stood on this very stage last year and told us that he was thinking about stepping down, but it was because of these guys, the Adam Lodowigs, the Don Reeses, the Phil Senabritos, and the like, that he wanted to stay in there and give it one more shot because he felt like, how could you do it again? Well, he's doing it. Back to the phones we go. We have a special caller. I believe this might be our good friend. Is this Vinny DeAndrea?
Yes, it is.
Vinny calling from college, long distance to talk to his buddies. Phil is with us and Adam, and they are getting ready for the big game. Remember last year you were on the air for the Gordon game, bud. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Jim?
Okay, good, Vinny.
So what's the scoop for this week, and what's Nyack got?
I don't know. These guys seem to think, a little speed, a little worried about the speed. And even though they beat Somers 13-0, I thought it was kind of, Somers would have won the game. They turned the ball over 8 times. Stuart Letter is here, your good buddy Stu.
Yeah.
And he covers Somers for North Carolina News, and he said Somers just kind of gave him the game. So Nyack not coming in here playing their best football, but these guys are a little worried. I think it may be a little media kind of thing. They're just, I don't know, they're being nice, I think. But they haven't seen film, but they're worried about the speed.
All right, the speed. So, Phil, tell me about the line. What kind of line they got?
Not too big, average size, but they're pretty good. I think their best lineman is tackle.
Really?
Yeah.
Because except for us and Ossining, they probably got one of the best coaches around, too.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I heard their coaching staff is very good, so.
Yeah, so, this isn't going to be, one of those joke games. They're going to have good coaching, but Also, I want to ask Lodick about their quarterback. What do they got, Lodick?
Quarterback?
Doing a good job, Vinny, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
From what I know,
Poignant, salient questions from Vinny, long distance. Go ahead.
we haven't really examined each player on the team yet. You know, we do that Friday nights. But from what I know he can get the job done. He's not going to be the greatest quarterback we faced all year. But if it comes down to it, he will be able to throw the ball and he can run.
Okay, I'm getting the North County News up here. I get it kind of late, but you know, they don't cover Nyack too much unless they play one of our local teams, and it doesn't seem like they throw the ball too much. So if we can force them to throw, then I think, you know, we got the game summed up, guys.
From what I know, if we get them into 2nd and long or 3rd and long, then they're in trouble.
Yeah, that's the type of game we want to play. So that 1st down and 2nd down is going to be big.
Hey, Vinny, how's things going up there?
You know, they're rough up here. It's kind of cold, but football just ended, lacrosse football just ended, and things went well, so I'm pretty happy.
Very good, very good. I bet you missed the guys. Are you going to be able to see any of the games? Are you going to be able to get back for a break or something and see one of the games?
For the state championship, Jim, I'll be there.
All right, so Vinny, of course, wants to let everyone know that do not lose any games, guys, because Vinny wants to come see the state championship. And Vinny, you came on the show and were very brave last year, and you always predicted victories. Let's see a prediction for this week.
I'm going to have to go Yorktown 27, Nyack 0.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, take care,
I hope I hear from you again.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Sorry, you guys didn't get a chance to say goodbye as well. What were you going to say? I'm sorry, Adam.
I was going to tell him to good luck out there and give me a call.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, we probably have his number. We'll give it to you. We'll forward it. All right, one more call for these gentlemen. Let me ask you guys. Now this is the rallying cry of every defense. You want to get teams into 2nd and 3rd and long. Do you find it easier to play against teams that are predicated on the pass, or do you like to get into a running game where the other team's running and you're running and the clock is running?
I like to get into a running game with them. We're running, they're running, because I'll bet a lot of money down that our running backs and our offense scores more points than their offense with our defense, against our defense. If you understand that.
Go ahead. Yes, I did.
I like the passing team better, only because when someone's running the ball on us, it's just constant. They're coming at us, we're coming at them. When a team throws the ball a lot, I like to get in the pass rush, and I like getting sacks and all that kind of stuff.
And one thing, we must compliment Phil and the rest of his line teammates, Matt as well. And this is a team that's averaging 200 and probably more than that. I mean, by the Ossining game, I got the stat 244 a game, and that's ridiculous. I mean, if you could run for 240, I mean, you'd never have to pass, and yet they still pass. Last week they had to pass, and they did it and got touchdowns, and the screen pass, and that went for a touchdown against Ossining with Donnie last week with Adam. So they could do it all offensively. Let's go back to the phones. Kenneth, who's up? John, 5313. John, tough name. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Lodick, it's Chelsea.
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 Familiar with that name?
John Schultz.
Schultzy.
Lodick, I just wanted to call and wish you guys luck. I know I don't get to see you guys that much. I wanted to call you and Phil and wish you guys luck this week.
Thank you.
See you later, call. All right, good luck. Prediction 31-8.
Nyack? No. So what do you think? Have you seen Nyack, Don? Or Schultzy?
No, I haven't.
You have not. Have you seen Yorktown yet this year?
No, only on tape.
Ah, so how you like them this year? You think they look better than last year?
They're looking good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so you like 38 what?
31-8.
31-8. All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
Take care. So, all right, guys. Tom, anything for our gentlemen? Stu, you have another question before we let our guests go for this evening? Because I have one more myself.
I was just going to ask them for their own predictions. But the night would not be complete if you guys did not state on the record what the final score of this game is going to be.
Nyack does not get the show. So, it's not like the Somas
Nyack
game.
does
That
not
would've been
receive this broadcast.
That's very true. And thank God for them. They're good people at Nyack. Go ahead.
All right, I'll have to go near Vinny's score, but I'll go with like 24-0.
So you guys like the zeros. That's the important thing. Both of you guys play D. Last year you won on D. Would that be accurate? You guys,
yeah.
You prefer shutouts to big scores.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe the 24 might be a little lower, but they will definitely not score. I guarantee that.
Oh, that speed! Just scaring Phil right off the stage. Adam.
I like 27-6.
So you think they're going to score?
I don't want to say I think they're going to score, but I think that's a good prediction, 27-6.
Now, we should remind you that I talked to Ronnie, this afternoon, and he said he was going to be watching, so these guys tamed it down a little bit. But we thank them both. On your left, once again, Adam Loderwick, 34, right?
Yep.
Is your number. You'll catch him in the backfield, of course, defensively and offensively. I hope to see you do well again on Sunday afternoon. And Phil, of course, big number 75, the name bigger than him. Senembrino, thanks a lot, buddy. And both of you guys, we'd like to have you back. Bring Donnie or whatever next week.
Definitely.
Of course, little victory party, and we'll discuss your next opponent, all right?
Definitely.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Adam Loderwick and Phil Senembrino. Guys, again, no matter what happens this week, congratulations, an excellent season. They went undefeated this year and won their first Class B championship for Coach Stanovic and the Yorktown program. 8 years for Ronnie there, and he's done a fantastic job since 1987. We thank both of them for coming on the show. They were here last year and giving us some updates. By the way, if you want to know more about this Yorktown game and some more previews and stuff like that, don't forget to catch Joe Lombardi and his crew on that Sports Central show on Thursday evenings. What is that, 7 or 8, Joe? 7 to 8. Same time, same bat channel.